whatever popped into my brain first, that's the idea I'll roll with. Like for Poison Me, I just kept thinking about rain for no reason. So I was like, all right, rain it is. And then like for Succubus, I just kept thinking bloody bathtub. So like whatever just happens to pop into my brain is what we always go with.
Molly, thank you so much for your time today. As we're talking, the album's out. Usually I talk to people before an album comes out and they can be pretty stressed about that. The album just came out as we're talking. How are you doing right now?
It's been really good. It's relieving to finally have it out.
Yeah. It's always a long process, and then boom, it's finally there. So was it a bit of a roller coaster? You spent a lot of time on your phone and computer, just answering messages and looking at statistics and all that kind of good stuff?
Yep, I am still doing that.
Is it possible? Is it still very, very fresh? Can you? I know obviously these songs weren't written yesterday, but like. Are you able to kind of like detach yourself a little bit from it? Can you look back and kind of assess what's going on, or is this still so emotionally tied to where you are right now that it's hard to do that?
Yeah, I feel like it is still very fresh. Like the songs were written a while ago, and I've had a while to get used to them and kind of like digest the new material and practice it and everything. But at the same time, it's like it just came out. I'm still curious to hear what people's favorite songs are and seeing the reaction we're getting. It's still very like current and fresh.
Yeah. All right. Now, this video comes out on Halloween. People are watching this on Halloween. Obviously, your album is a perfect soundtrack to that as well. But what does Halloween mean for you? Like, are you somebody that are we gonna find you all dressed up in the hottest club in town with a Halloween party, or are you gonna be like snuggling up in sweatpants on the couch and watching a horror movie?
Somewhere in between both of those. I definitely won't be out at a club because I'm over that. I got that out of my system years ago. But I still like to get all dressed up and everything. I'm normally more of like have a Halloween party at home kind of person.
Yeah. A little bit more quieter and a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
All
I like to come out halfway through my own parties back in my pajamas to let my guests know that I'm ready for them to start leaving soon.
On Halloween, they might just think you're doing a costume change, and you're like, "Oh, hey, that's a fun outfit," and you're like, "You're not getting it. I need you to leave right now."
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, now let's look at this album. Now, obviously, we were introduced, if you will, to the Living Dead Girl universe, let's call it, with Exorcism. Now we get, we already got kind of like that heavy gothic. There's some pop hook driven music in there. Now we've got Conspiracy. There is a musical evolution there. You allow yourself to do a few things that you didn't do on the previous album, I should say. What had to change following Exorcism to give yourself the, I don't know if confidence is the right word, or yourself the freedom to evolve to where we are today? Like what had to change?
I feel like I wasn't so focused on, I didn't want it to sound like Exorcism. I feel like it was something that happened naturally. Like it wasn't completely intentional. It was just, This is where I'm at in my life as a person and as an artist. Like creatively, this is just the kind of music that I felt like writing. So I wasn't even necessarily thinking like, oh, I don't want this to be just like Exorcism, or I want it to be more like this. It's just kind of what ended up happening once I got to the studio, is these are the songs that came from me. Like the first singles we did were Ugly and Poison Me. And those songs are both like pretty serious, pretty heavy. I mean, Poison Me is really dramatic for Living Dead Girl, but I didn't even go into the studio thinking that I wanted to do that. It's right. That's how the mood shifted the second I got in the studio. That's just where my headspace was at. So I feel like it's really cool to just, like screw around and find out, as they say, like just go into the studio and just wait and see what unfolds, So it wasn't even like a conscious decision for there to be changes from Exorcism, really, other than I knew it was going to be a darker and heavier album, because I knew I'm a little bit more mature at this point in my life since Exorcism. I feel like I have more serious things to talk about.
Yeah. Now, okay, so that wasn't necessarily a conscious effort, but was it a conscious effort that to maintain like this balance for Living Dead Girl that is, on one side you've got the nightmarish side of it, but on the other side you've got the motivational anthem side of it. Like you kind of balance two worlds where there's some dark and scary and nasty stuff, but it seems, at least to me, that there's also an equal amount of, hey, there's a lot of light at the end of this tunnel, and if only we can get there. Finding that balance, is that a conscious effort, or is that as organic as the evolution of your music?
I would say it is pretty organic at the same time, because like even with Conspiracy, the title track, that song is pretty apocalyptic, doom and gloom, the world is screwed kind of thing. But then even in the bridge, like I wrote the lyrics like never lose sight of what's right and stuff, and I'm talking about like fighting back against it. So naturally, I feel like as a person, whenever things are really negative or evil or bad, like my natural approach is to find like a good element to it. And I'm kind of like that in my music, where even if I want to write about a depressing topic, I'll still put like a glimmer of hope in it or something like that, because I don't want to just make completely depressing music. Like there's a time and a place for that stuff. I do love some emo music, but I always feel like there just needs to be like a little bit of happiness or positivity in the bad stuff too. So maybe that is a bit conscious of a decision to think, oh, let's not go too crazy on the depressing side of things. But at the same time, like it just comes out of me naturally too, to not be super angry.
If we were to turn Conspiracy into a horror movie, what would the opening sequence look like? And what song out of all of them? Like, let's say that you don't have to necessarily stick to the sequence that the album is. What song would be playing over the opening credits?
I feel like the opening sequence would definitely be like a post-apocalyptic world, just like the album cover. Like there would be like buildings burning down and like no people in sight, maybe some like aliens taking over. And I would definitely say Conspiracy, the title track, would be like the perfect way to set the mood, because I love how the intro of that song is so dramatic. Like it's just like a very like it means business. It's a very serious sounding song right out of the gates.
Yeah. Okay. Well, given that you are so involved with not just the music, but also the visual aspect to the art as well, with music videos and so on, and as we're talking about what a potential movie could look like, what you're clearly somebody that thinks in a visual way. What for you comes first usually when you're in the creative zone? Like, do you see a scene and turn it into a song, or do you get the music and then that becomes like a little movie in your head that then fuels cover artwork and music videos and so on?
Usually the music comes first, like the emotion, the sound of the song happens first. And then as I'm hearing the song, I always have like a music video playing in my head. And I just have to listen to the song on a loop and keep seeing it in my mind. And that's how most of our music videos like come to be, is just whatever popped into my brain first. That's the idea I'll roll with. Like for Poison Me, I just kept thinking about rain for no reason. So I was like, all right, rain it is. And then like for Succubus, I just kept thinking bloody bathtub. So like whatever just happens to pop into my brain is what we always go with.
Yeah, we always need a good bloody bathtub on Halloween. Absolutely. Now, you're obviously also starting to connect more and more with your fans, or your fans are connecting more and more with you. I've seen people posting pictures of tattoos of your lyrics and stuff like that. You've got people following you around when you're on tour and seeing you many, many, many times live. Like, starting to realize that your music or your art is not just something to channel your own emotions, if you will, or your own passions, but that you're seeing that your music starts to impact complete strangers in those kinds of ways. What's that like to discover that?
That's honestly like the best part of being an artist, is seeing it come full circle. Like when people like your lyrics enough to tattoo it on their skin, or your band's album logo or anything like that. And then people creating fan art for us. Like people have painted photos of me and drawn pictures of me and stuff, brought them to us. And like, it's pretty cool. It's like I made art and it inspired you to make art. Now you're giving the art back to me. Like it's like a full circle moment of, being creatively inspired by each other. It's like just such a cool feeling to see, okay, I put this out into the world, and it's like you get to see it come back to you. And like I always say, like my favorite thing ever on tour is when I see people in the audience who know the lyrics and they're singing along. Because I'm like, I wrote those lyrics. They mean a lot to me. My lyrics are very personal. You know, they're not like someone else writing it for me. So when I see like people actually know the words and like they're excited to sing along with me, like that is my favorite thing when we are playing a show.
Yeah. Does that also, is that all like super excited and fantastic, or does that also bring a new level of pressure that you didn't realize before? Like, do you feel like you now have even more to live up to?
I wouldn't even say so because I don't really like think of it that way. Even like with conspiracy, I didn't really feel pressure to like make it as good as exorcism or make it better than. I was like, let's just keep doing what we're doing because people obviously like it. Let's just pick up where we left off, kind of thing. But I just think it's makes it more fun for me. It makes it more personal to see like the human interactions that we get through music. It just makes it more, you know, not just putting music out on the internet, but actually seeing it face to face with other people. There's more of a connection that way.
Yeah. Okay. Now, in this journey, excuse me, in this journey, you've also been supported, let's call it, by Mitchell Marlowe, who worked with you on the previous album, also now as well. He's a very well respected person behind the scenes in our industry. Worked with In This Moment, Papa Roach, just to name two, you know, let's call them young rising bands. Working with somebody that has seen so much or that has so much experience, like what do you take away from that?
I felt like that's what I needed as like a newer, younger artist was to work with someone who has been doing it for a very long time. Because I feel like one person in the room should at least be experienced. It shouldn't be a group of new people at it, you know? But I feel like you get to learn a lot from them and it makes you a better artist when you get to work with people like that. Because
Yeah.
like I said, like experience, like that itself is priceless. When I get to go in the studio and work with someone who already knows what they're doing, all I can do is learn from them.
I'll ask you two more questions, one serious, one less serious. In a year from now, it's Halloween again, obviously at that point, and you're looking back. What for both for Molly and for Living Dead Girl, what do you hope happens in these next 12 months, so that you can look back and go like, you know what, this was good.
I hope that conspiracy continues to make its way around, reaching new audiences and as many new listeners as we possibly can. We've been getting a lot of radio play, a lot of traction on YouTube and stuff. So I just hope to see that ball keep rolling so more and more people can discover our music and get to follow along with us on our journey. A year from now, if we are playing bigger shows and playing these new songs to new people, I would be very happy with that. And
Yeah.
personally, as long as I'm healthy and happy, that's good enough for me.
There you go. There you go. Well, today is not a day to be healthy with Halloween and lots of candy. And, you know, you already shared that you might not go to a club. You prefer to be at home, which means that you might have to deal with some trick-or-treaters and hand out some candy. Um, if you are playing one Halloween song tonight, and it's not going to be a Living Dead Girl song, and it's also not going to be Thriller by Michael Jackson, or it's not going to be Monster Mash. What's a song that trick-or-treaters can expect to hear from your house tonight?
Definitely the This Is Halloween cover from Nightmare Before Christmas, but Marilyn Manson's version. That's been my ringtone on my phone since I was like 13 years old.
Oh, there you go. So every day is a little Halloween for you, which makes sense for Living Dead Girl. Well, awesome. Well, Molly, it's exciting to see this release now out, and that you can just focus on not all the stress of a release, but just engaging with the fans and getting all their feedback, and planning a lot more shows and getting on the road soon again. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you. You as well.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.